Alright guys, welcome to the Football Fan Show. This week, Kamarov is not going to be with us, so don't be expecting too much banter this video. For some reason, Kamarov thought it would be a good idea to disappear and go on holiday for 2 weeks when the season starts. And he calls himself a football fan. Yeah, I know. So, it's just me, guys, this week. Hopefully, you're not too disappointed. We may be able to get him in next week's show. I'm not sure. We'll see if he has Wi-Fi and things like that. But he'll definitely be here for week 3. And that'll be when we really start the show properly. Secondly, did you enjoy the intro? That was made by Mr. Dan Burton. His link to his channel will be in the description. Thanks a lot for that. One thing I would like to ask, is that intro copyright? I don't think it is, because Andy Gray is just basically Andy Gray talking. So I don't think that's copyright. But guys, if it is copyright and you know why it is, please stick it in this comments so I'll know not to put it on another video. Okay, let's get into this. Today, let's start with today's matches. That was the big one. Man United and West Brom. Now, I caught the last 20 minutes of this game, and it was a typical Man United ending to the match. West Brom doing pretty well. I seen some parts they were really dominating. They got two of the best defenders sent. They had to take them off. Yeah, it was Ferdinand and Vidic, and then typical Man United against the run of play, get a late goal to win the match. How Man United do it all the time. They always get these late equalizers or late winners. I don't know how they do it, but I guess that's a sign of a good team. I hate to say it, but so yeah, Man United win, one of the actual only big teams to win. But let's not get into that. Let's get into the next game. Chelsea and Stoke, 0-0 draw. This was at Stoke. You might think that's a bad result, but Stoke are not an easy team to beat. I was watching most of this match. The first half, Stoke did very, very well. Stoke are a hard team to break down. They're constant long balls and Delap's long throws into the box. So they it's almost like having twice as many corners. They're a very difficult team to play against. They're a quality side, Stoke. So 0-0 away from home at Stoke is not a terrible result. Torres looked sharp. He looked sharp. He didn't score, but he did look sharp today, which kills me to see. I was hoping he wouldn't. I was hoping he'd have a bad season again, but what can you do about it? Looks like Torres could be back to his old ways. We'll see. We'll see how he turns out. The next match was Newcastle v Arsenal. A bit of drama this match. I think it was 15 minutes left, or it was 15 minutes in. I'm not sure. I didn't watch this match. It wasn't on TV. Well, it wasn't on Sky anyway. Jovino, the new signing, got sent off on his debut. Apparently, he slapped Joey Barton. Now, as far as I know, I wouldn't be surprised if Joey Barton was winding him up, put it that way. It's not exactly unheard of for Joey Barton to be winding people up, but I know there was links with him going to Arsenal, Joey Barton going to Arsenal. That could be a little bit awkward, when he turns up and meets Jovino, but I really doubt he'll go to Arsenal. It doesn't really look like he's leaving Newcastle at the minute, so be interesting to see if anyone does take him under their wing. The next match was Queen's Park Rangers and Bolton. Now, I was surprised at this match. This is one of the biggest surprises for me because Queen's Park, the strongest side to come up from the Championship. I was expecting them to do okay this season. I was actually expecting them to stay up comfortably, kind of like Newcastle did this year. But they got stomped by Bolton 4-0. Now, what you gotta understand that Bolton, they are a good side. They were up 6th and 7th in the league for a big part of the league last season. They're a very, very good side. I'm not sure what position they finished last season. Maybe it was 8th. Might have been 8th. I'm not sure, but they definitely they're a strong top half of the table team. So it's not that much shame. If they got beat by Wigan 4-0, then I'd be a bit more worried. Next match, excuse me. Next match was Liverpool and Sunderland. Liverpool, my team. This is quite disappointing. I watched this match online. Quite disappointing. The first half, Liverpool they played very, very well. Downing looked good. Henderson, I'm a bit unsure about him. Adam looked good. Jose Enrique looked solid. Their new signings. Flanagan, disappointed in him. He had a very good end of the season last season when he started breaking into the squad. He was very poor against Sunderland. Henderson was pretty average. Which, me personally, he's only 20. I would really start Kuyt over Henderson on the right. And, that's not Henderson's natural position. His natural position is in centre midfield. So, I wouldn't be too worried. It's the first match this season. Sunderland are a quality side again. They've signed some really quality players, and I think Sunderland will be contending for a Europa spot if 7th is a Europa spot this season. So, I wouldn't be too worried about that. The next match was Blackburn Rovers and Wolverhampton. These are the two of the teams that I put in my bottom 6, but not relegated, fighting for relegation. Blackburn actually, Wolves actually came from behind to win 2-1 at Ewood Park, so it wasn't a great result for Blackburn. But again, start of the season, there's not much pressure, so we'll see how that one turns out. Fulham and Aston Villa, that was a 0-0 draw. Pretty disappointing, well, pretty okay result, I suppose, from both. Fulham and Aston Villa are, I wouldn't say they're quite similar teams from where they finished in the league. You would say that last season, but Aston Villa, I really would have thought they would have won that game. They've got Nzogbia. I was expecting him to be. I didn't actually see the match, but on Bent as well. So it should be interesting to see how they actually sort of partner up and hook and work together next season or this season. Especially Bent's not going to have that supply line of Young and Downing that he had last season, so it'll be interesting to see if Nzogbia can make up for that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Fulham, again, quality team, so that's not a bad result for Aston Villa and Fulham. The last one was Wigan and Norwich. This is not a surprising result at all. Wigan and Norwich 1-1, not surprising. I haven't really got much to say about that. Norwich is going down for me. Wigan's just about staying up. That's about the weekend's results, guys. Let's go on to my sort of predictions for next week. Tomorrow night is Man City v Swansea. That is at the Eastlands. I would expect a good win for Manchester City, possibly a 3-0 win. But going by today's results, they could struggle and only get a draw. But I do predict like a 3-0 win. The next match is Sunderland v Newcastle, a derby. I think that could be, I think that'll be 2-1 Sunderland. Now we got Arsenal versus Liverpool. Of course I'm going to say Liverpool will win. I think Arsenal are vulnerable. I think we can beat them a good sort of 3-1. I'm going to say that. I really do think we can beat them 3-1 at Emirates. I really do. Actually, 3-1? No, wait. That's at the Emirates. That's a bit ambitious. Okay, let's go for 2-1. Let's go for 2-1. That was a bit ambitious there, but let's say 2-1 to the pool. Swansea City versus Wigan Athletic. No, yeah, sorry. I'm saying Swansea City again because the first Manchester versus Swansea was Monday night's game. This is now the following weekend. Monday night being tomorrow night. So Swansea versus Wigan Athletic. I think that'll be a draw again. I think that'll be maybe a 1-1 draw or maybe 0-0. Aston Villa versus Blackburn Rovers. I would expect Aston Villa to win. I'm going to say 2-0 to Aston Villa. Everton versus Queen's Park Rangers. I'm going to say Everton going to win. I would say again 2-0. And Chelsea versus West Brom, and that is at Stamford Bridge. West Brom are a solid team, but I still think Chelsea will win, but not by a massive gap, so I'll say 1-0 to Chelsea. Now, Sunday's games are Norwich v Stoke. I'm going to say Stoke are going to beat Norwich 2-1. I'm going to actually, yeah, I'll say 2-1. I'll go for 2-1. Wolverhampton versus Fulham. I'm going to say that will be a 2-2 draw. And Bolton versus Manchester City. That is at Bolton. I'm also going to say that's a 1-1 draw because Bolton are a quality team. Guys, that has been the Football Fan Show. I apologise for the lack of banter. I kind of need someone else to be here to have a bit of banter with. So this has been more of a factual, serious football talk. Guys, look forward. Hopefully Kamarov will be here for next week's show. Hope you enjoyed. Tell me if the intro was copyright or not. Guys, tune in next Sunday for the Football Fan Show. Goodbye.